Alright everybody, welcome back to Tales of the Forgotten, Dragon's Dogma 2. Excuse me for not having the camera on this time, it is what it is. Let me put on some music. Anybody wondering, this is some music I made using Suno AI. So I do not hold the copyrights to this. I thought I should mention that, because, you know. Anyway, this video is going to be an explanation on how to use the new files for Dragon's Dogma 2 for the install of Tales of the Forgotten, alright? Now, I'm gonna start off by going in reverse. So, what I mean by that is the fact that we will be removing the mods. So, I currently have the mods installed, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first show you how to update, because that also includes the installation process, alright? So, if you've already downloaded the mods, okay? You have the preset, please get the preset. If you don't have the preset, you don't have the necessary files, the bat files for, you know, a proper automated and faster update of the collection. So what you're gonna want to do is disable this, so it's disabling everything. I have a couple of extra mods because I plan on updating soon. This is revision 14. I am currently giving instructions out for revision 13, but these instructions will apply to 14 as well. So, now that the mods have been disabled, I'm gonna have to go in and manually disable these, because I have a couple of extras in here, making sure they are disabled. Alright, so I'm gonna hop inside the Dragon's Dogma 2 folder structure, alright? This is what you want. Let me delete these. So, these files, you don't care about them. Not right now anyway, but if you want a full reinstall, please delete everything. That is a pack.patch file, okay? If you install the Sphinx color mod, Sphinx skin, Sphinx phase 3 color, you will need to remove all of these, and then you will have to go inside your Steam library, okay? And where is Dragon's Dogma 2? Properties, installed files, verify integrity of game files, okay? This is what you're gonna want to do. Because, Fluffy has a tendency of kind of merging patches and such. So, your Sphinx base color for the skin will not get removed. Also, please make sure you read. Now, you need to read everything here, okay? I have seen quite a lot of people literally refusing to read the instructions and then asking for help, but they have no idea what they've done because they haven't read. You are being prompted when you install the collection. You have a bunch of instructions here as well. These mods, some of them have instructions. When you install the collection, you will be prompted if you want to install optionals or view optionals or cancel the installation of the optional mods entirely. Please cancel the installation of the optional mods entirely. And please read the instructions for each and every single one of them, because they all cause certain issues. Now, I'm gonna hop on into the bugs section again, because I feel the need of mentioning this. There is a known bugs section here. Please make sure you read everything. This is currently, as of today, the 17th of January, 2026. This is currently fully up to date, okay? Please read. This also includes issues we've had up to current revision. So it might contain also issues related to mods which are no longer part of the collection. Now, you will have to hop on the resource page, and you will need to download the Fluffy preset guide bat files. Manual download, I forgot to put it on manual. Give me a second. It's been a minute. I keep forgetting to make the video, but here I am. Remove download with manager. So, manual download of the Fluffy preset guide bat files archive, okay? This is what you have inside. Now what you want to do, these two and this, you will move these inside of Dragon's Dogma 2, the main directory, okay? These three, you will move them here, or copy, it doesn't matter. Now, you have a screenshot guide for Fluffy. Currently, this does not contain the new mods from revision 14, the upcoming revision, alright? However, they contain all of this, and everything that should be on. If there's something missing, please turn it on. If you have optionals, do note that the Fluffy preset does not include the optional mods whatsoever, so keep them off unless you want to test them out. But just so you know, you will have issues. Again, please go into the known bugs section, because some of those mods are extremely problematic. For example, Truly Wizard will cause your ladder issues, so you will no-clip through the map. Pink's face color, we have already mentioned the issues with this. There's mark important NPCs. This was the mod which was causing extreme FPS issues. I think I actually removed this from the optional installs. However, it's still on the test branch, so if you've installed that, you might still have it on your system. Hostile unhired pawns, this is the one which was causing some extreme bullshit with the bosses. So please disable this and quite literally never use it, unless you just want to test it out. It can result in some cute stuff happening, but it can also cause you some major issues, and the reason it was removed is because, first of all, bosses spawn on complete and utter random nonsense. However, that's not even the main issue. The main issue is that the bosses just randomly disappear during combat. So, keep that off. Also, you kind of need to know what you're doing with the settings in Hostile Unhired Pawns, because it can cause some major issues like friendly allied NPCs killing your ox carts and such. So, yeah. This here is a graphics suite mod. I'm gonna talk about this later. This is a mod I have currently attempted to revive, and I have kinda managed to do so to a certain degree. I will do a showcase of that later. Fast respawn bosses, again, only if you have the test branch, but keep it off. Enhanced arrest and gale system. This will cause your character to respawn in the water somewhere randomly, or just kind of teleport around the screen when you die. And it also has player invincibility turned on by default. So you will have to turn that off inside RE framework if you use this. Just note that I haven't tested it much. I believe we have pawns use all skills. Only install this if you want your pawns to be kind of broken. OP from the start. I have this defaulted to disabled. It's an optional mod due to that reason. And then slower bow aiming most of the time seems to not really do what's intended to be doing. So even on the Glacier preset, which is 10% speed, it doesn't really feel like it's slowing the game down at all. It's just adding you a weird effect on the screen, which should mention that or not should mention, it should mean that the game is slowing down time, but it's in fact not. So I have it turned off by default. It's an optional install. Now you have a RE Framework Nightly 01191. This was in here for the occasion in which the new RE Framework 01208, I forgot, it's a typo there, I forgot the O. In case this one doesn't work, please revert. I will need to check again in case RE Framework got updated. And currently, 01208 is considered the official one for us, for the collection, please use this instead of 01191. Make sure you do not install both. Your game is not gonna function, okay? You will have issues. You will need to uninstall 01191 and then reinstall nightly 01208. Now, with that out of the way, this is how you should be updating. So, please, disable everything, okay? Or, ideally, create a new profile, enable that one, alright? After that, you have this ToTF DD2 nuke.bat file, alright? Just use the random folder. I've been working on a Skyrim mod collection. If you want to know more on that, hop on Discord. Or more about that, rather. Alright, so... I will actually mention it real quick at the end of the video, in case you're wondering. So, this ToTF DD2 nuke.bat. This one, you will double click and you're gonna be asked if you want to remove your modded folders and files. So that includes storage folder, there's a manifest folder which is not showing up right now, or a framework, games I believe, if I recall correctly, and I forgot. Anyway, the idea is that it's gonna remove your folders which contain modded files. Please say yes. It's gonna delete everything in here from the folder structure which contains mods, alright? Now, from here on out, you're gonna wanna enable your mods back after making sure you've... let me rephrase that. After you've downloaded the new revision for the update, make sure you have your mods enabled on the new profile. Deploy mods, okay? And then inside Fluffy, you will need to have this mod preset. Now, the way you get this is quite simple, actually. Let me make this a little bit easier. So, Fluffy preset, you have installed this, and this inside your main game directory. Now, if you have followed the steps of installing these, if not, copy them over. Inside your games, Dragon's Dogma 2 presets, you will have the .prt file, which is the preset for Fluffy Mod Manager. The mod presets, okay? And it should show up here. Don't be inside Fluffy. Now, before we move on, you will need to make sure inside Options, Advanced Options, go down, Install VR DLLs is off. If this was on, please reinstall RE Framework Nightly 01208, alright? You will need to reinstall this, if that was on. And then boot Fluffy back up. Now, I'm gonna click on this and we are gonna wait a little bit, because this is gonna enable the mods, and as I've mentioned in my previous videos, texture related, or you know, the texture skins, texture patch mods, for some reason they are very heavy and it takes quite a bit to, you know, kind of go through them. They might be including textures for literally every single NPC in the game, but I'm not sure, which is why this might be a little heavy. I'm gonna let you enjoy some music until this finishes. However, just know that your Fluffy Mod Manager will freeze. Now, this also means that this is how you should be installing the collection. I kind of forgot to mention, but this is how you also install the collection. So you add the collection, you will have your mods in here, you will make sure inside Options, Advanced Options, your Install VR DLLs is off. If you have the VR DLL on, make sure you turn it off. Reinstall RE Framework Nightly, okay? And then make sure your mods are deployed. And you will need to be outside of Fluffy to deploy. Otherwise, Fluffy will not allow it. Not Fluffy, Vortex will not allow it. And then you're gonna hop in here and you will enable the mods with the preset as shown so far, okay? So this also applies to the install. from here on out, it's technically just the install phase, alright? Again, I've done the steps in reverse. Because at this point, most people already have the collection downloaded, kinda. And I feel like updating should come first in the guide at this point. Now, again, you're gonna have to wait for a little bit. Do let me know how you like these songs. I'm thinking of including them in the Skyrim mod collection that I'm working on. We'll see if I can make a main menu replacer or something. Or maybe a loading screen replacer, because they're kind of cool. Again, I'm not hoping to monetize these or something, but I really feel like they are kind of good. Speaking of Skyrim, since we are waiting on Fluffy, might as well show you guys. You hop on Discord and search for gaming info. There's Skyrim SE AE, as in Special Edition, Anniversary Edition. Now here you can find all the information and stuff I've shared about the collection. I'm actually gonna boot up the... If you look into pin tabs, in the pin tab, you have a lot of stuff in here. So if you're looking to get some new mods for Skyrim and such, and some information on how to handle skin variants and such, that's the place you go to. Also ask me directly. I may actually be able to provide some help. Now, we're still waiting on Fluffy, so I might as well just show you guys something else. Come on. I'm gonna boot up my MO2 and show you guys what I currently have for Skyrim. I currently have 361 mods installed. Okay, and we are using community shaders. Currently, don't have many mods for, you know, overhauls for cities and such, but I feel like it's coming along pretty nicely, swimmingly even, kind of smooth. Still got some issues with meshes and such, but anybody interested in the Skyrim mod collection, hop on Discord. I am attempting to create a Webberjack at some point. We need to finish. I still got over 1,500 mods to go through for that. It's currently about 100, actually it's about 200 some gigabytes, only the archive. So we'll see how much it ends up being at the end. Now, we got this installed. I'm gonna make sure, at this point, what you wanna do is, inside this Fluffy preset guide bat files, you have a screenshot guide, okay? As I've mentioned this previously, you will need to make sure all your mods are turned on. So, since I have some extra mods, I will turn them on. These will be inside the next revision. I will turn them on right now. In the next revision, I'm also adding that suite mod, the graphics suite, the one that I have fixed. Mostly because it's been removed from Nexus, and, well, technically, at this point, it might as well just be my mod. But I'm not uploading it to Nexus. It's gonna be bundled with the collection. So if you want it, you're gonna have to download the collection for it. I'm sorry, it is what it is. Technically, it's not my mod, so this is why I'm doing it. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to distribute it that way. So I'm just gonna bundle it. Now, after you've made sure everything is installed, there are some pluses here. So, for example, Sigismund. There's like a plus or a cross sign. It's a plus, but anyway. Make sure they are enabled as shown in the screenshots. Now, after you've done this and you've enabled everything that has been shown in the screenshots, make sure weapon pack is off unless you want to test it. The weapons inside weapon pack do no damage for some reason. Most of them anyway, from what I've seen. Now, you will close Fluffy. And then you will go back to your main directory. You will have a bunch of files, which are extra. And then you'll also see the extra pack files. The extra patches, okay? You will have to remove those if you want to get rid of everything which is mod related. Okay, so if you want to revert to full vanilla, remove everything that is a .pack.patch. This is for users that have installed the Sphinx face color for skin 3. Now, you have this ToTF file structure setup.bat, alright? Now what this does is it automates the file structure for you. Please make sure to use it. Okay. Welcome to ToTF file structure setup. This will move specified files and folders as per instructions, merging and overriding only duplicate files where applicable, and delete empty source folders afterwards. Do note that this also automates the removal of Transmogrify Lua and Mesh Mod Enabler Lua, so you will no longer have to manually do that. I'm gonna say yes. You will have some errors in here. That's it. You no longer have to spend fucking hours manually doing it and figuring out yourself. Everything has been moved correctly. You're welcome. I have essentially shown you how to update and install the collection in 20 minutes. 21. Ignore these errors and warnings. They don't matter, okay? I don't know about the errors, but they do not matter. From what I've seen, everything seems to be installed correctly. I think it's because the bat file I have made is kind of checking to make sure the files are there, but I think it kind of just moves and removes them at the same time. So because it moved things, it can't delete anymore. Anyway, it does its job. Okay, that's the main point. So, if you want to check the fact that it's done its job correctly, you will go into RE Framework Auto Run, look for Transmogify, okay, it's gone. Look for Mesh Mod Enabler, okay, it's gone. You will only have the ToTF fixes. You can go inside Data and look for Character Manager, and this is how you know. Everything in here has been automated, okay, you no longer have to do this. Okay? I'm gonna look for Erandir. Let me look by name. Okay, Erandir, this was the one. So these JSON files were all inside your folder structure in your main directory. Now what you can also do is go inside Skill Maker, and inside Skill Sets, you can look for Spell Sword, okay? Alright, so I have proven that this does in fact do its job correctly, alright? On video, in... well, it's not 4K, it's 2K, but anyway. At least I think it's 2K. I don't recall my settings. Anyway, the idea is that you are technically done with the install, technically done with the update. What you want to do is from now on, you will boot up the game, okay? I'm gonna just check, just making sure. In case this preset doesn't enable all the mods, again, just make sure everything is enabled. So I'm gonna look for Bestiary, because this has a tendency of being off for some fucking reason. The variant spawn specifically. Fluffy just kind of ignores it sometimes. I don't know why, but it's enabled. So we're gonna launch the game at this point. This is the point where you launch the game and you make sure it works, alright? From here on out, it's no longer install, it's troubleshooting. Now, the update and the install itself, you've seen it took 21 approximate minutes. It shouldn't take you longer than half an hour. But again, I've showcased both an update and an install. So technically, the installation process will take, I don't know, about 10 minutes? Well, the install itself will take longer, but the enabling of the mods and the file structure setup will take about 10 minutes. Maybe less. The install itself will take a little bit longer because it's like 11 gigabytes or something. Yeah, 12. Alright, we got the errors. Now, more fake items. Unsure why it does an error, but it does. Ignore, click OK. You will have an error related to safer roads soon. Safer roads, ignore. Again, unsure why it does it. I think it's because these scripts load with the game, and they should in fact load after the game has booted up, but anyway. You will have the Transmogify utils error. You will ignore this. Like, okay. And then sometimes you get another one, but that one depends. Because I ain't sure. Now, when you boot up the game, you will wait for a little bit for the game to fully launch, alright? Come on. Damn. A full hour. I have cut the install and update process by a full hour. By just doing all the, you know... I did this because I didn't want to permanently troubleshoot you guys and walk you through the entire process. It takes so much time. Now, inside script runner, you will have these errors, okay? When these errors show up, ideally at the start of the game, when you're in-game, it doesn't really matter if they show up or not. It's fine. You might notice my game looks a little different. There are reasons for that. I'll showcase them later. I will stop the music now. Give me a sec. Alright, because we have the in-game music going. I don't want them to overlap randomly. Now, when you hop into the game and RE framework shows up, you will reset scripts. Now, I'm gonna hope my game doesn't crash because I do have the Reborn graphics suite mod installed and a custom preset, which I'm gonna be putting inside the collection next revision as an optional install. Again, optional install. Make sure you do not install it if you don't want your FPS to be cut by like 20. Okay? And I will give you some steps on how to use it. If you want to download it ahead of time, it is inside the mod development tab or channel right here. Okay? You also got some instructions in here. And I believe my preset has been updated since, but should be fine. So, we can close script runner now that the scripts have been, you know, correctly installed. There's the graphics suite thing, and I need to make sure something is, you know, okay. Now, you might notice my FPS is being cut quite heavily. Don't mind that. Ignore it for now. I am just making sure that everything shows up correctly. Okay? Everything shows up correctly. Everything is fine. I'm checking on the folder structure bat file to make sure everything has been in fact installed correctly, and it has, as proven. Now, technically, you are done. But what you want to do normally... You want to make sure you can load into a new save. So, I'm not gonna make a new save because I already have a save. I'm just gonna load into that one. If it doesn't boot up, somewhere it's a fuck up and we need to troubleshoot it, alright? But, normally you should be fine. Now, ignore the flickering. I'm sorry, I am testing the graphics mod. There might be issues. Just ignore them for now. I'm also using path space filter inside ray tracing tweaks inside the graphics tab in RE framework, which you will need to use with the graphics suite Reborn.
Shall we go and speak with Sir Leonard, Master?
Alright, now these are my current visuals, but I may have to, you know, I'm gonna make sure everything works. So from now on, you are done. Okay, from now on it's a showcase of the Graphics Suite Reborn mod, which I have made for the collection. This is a mod which was removed from Nexus Mods completely. You can only find some archives. Now what I want to do here, this is for anybody that is and has already installed the Graphics Suite Reborn mod. What you want to do is, if you want to use the preset as I have, or as I will install it, or you know,
Let's have a look.
as I will set it up for you guys, you will need to make sure, okay, you toggle this. This is how the game should look, okay? I feel like this is much better. This is with post-processing. I don't like the post-processing, I'm not gonna lie. I like this look much better for some reason. So I turn it off for me, but again, make sure you toggle this. I feel like this suits the game much better. Now I also have a reshade preset. Okay, made specifically for the LDR post-processing option off. This is how it looks without the reshade. If you enable, okay. I really feel like disabling the post-processing is the play, yes. If you have some issues with tone mapping, as in eye adaptation, Make sure this is set to legacy. And either fixed enable or enable. Okay. And this should fix some weird issues. Now you can choose to use the preset. Or, you know, just play default. I feel like default looks very good already. Alright? I just kind of want to add a twist to it with the reshade preset. And it does help. If you're using... inside Streamlight settings, you will have use path tracing. I'm gonna enable this for now. This is how it looks with that, but I do not recommend you have path tracing enabled. I recommend you use path space filter instead. You might notice my screen is fucking dying right now. I apologize for that, but again, working progress. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fix it more, but I have fixed most of the tabs in here. This is off. So what you want to do, upscaling is off by default in there. What you want to do is you want to make sure, you want to make sure, do this, okay? Save changes, and then you select your, you know, DLSS or FSR again. I will go to performance because I am currently using DLSS 4.5. Which is only recommended for RTX 40 series and above, by the way. So, you might notice my FPS went back up by quite a bit. Oh, I got my controller disconnected. Wait a minute. My bad. It might not register. It does. Okay. Fair enough. Good. Alright. Now my FPS went back up by like 10 to 12, 20 maybe. Depending on where I look. And I got some flickering right now. I am not sure why. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of troubleshoot it a little bit. Alright? Gonna make sure I look into it just a little bit. This is a path space filter disabled. This is path space filter enabled. I don't recommend going to pure path tracing. It looks good, but it will tank your frames. And it also adds a lot of noise. Now I tried to fix the noise with a denoiser and DLAA plus shader inside reshade, but as you can see, it's pretty bad. I don't recommend using pure path tracing. Use path space filter instead. Alright? This looks much better and way less noise. Way less noise. Now, the reshade is still a work in progress. What I could do is correct the blue. Let me know if you like the blue, or if you like the original. I kind of like the blue though. So I kind of want to keep it, but if you guys don't like the blue, let me know. Now let's see if we can troubleshoot the flickering. Okay? Again, if you've already installed the game and gotten to this point, you don't care about this. This is only for people that want to use Graphics Suite Reborn. Okay? Let's see now. Streamlight settings. I will need to disable this for now. Going to the menu. Enable, disable again. Just, you know, toggle on toggle. Let's see if it's fixed it. This is sometimes the fix, but apparently right now, not really. Don't go higher than highest shadows, by the way. Also, don't go lower than high. Okay? High will help. Stick to high or highest. Don't go to ultra. It will tank your frames horribly. Let me check. I'm pretty sure it's gonna tank my frames horribly, though. My game froze. Yeah, so it's tanking frames extremely badly. It's gonna take a minute to stabilize, but as you've seen, I have lost about 20 FPS, so don't do that. Stick to high or highest. I actually recommend high. You can tweak a bunch of settings in here. A lot of them don't really seem to do much. I I think this is high adaptation. Or eye adaptation, rather. But make sure you tweak these. Alright. Legacy seems to be the issue, maybe. Alright, we need to fix it. Give me a sec. It's an eye adaptation thing, I believe, and I'm not completely sure. Let me disable it. This is local exposure, by the way. And then there's local contrast, which for some reason doesn't seem to do much right now. Let me disable exposure. If you want to make it brighter, you know. Let's see now, why are you being annoying? I can't tell why it's flickering right now, but...
Well met, sir. How might I be of service?
You can see it looks quite nice. I think this is way better than default anyway. I might have to reboot the game. If you got some of these issues, again, this is a work in progress.
Pray, follow me.
I'm not completely sure why it's being annoying right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save and return to the main screen. And I'm gonna go back inside the save. Again, this is troubleshooting for graphics suite only. If you've made it this far. Gonna go back into the save. We still have the flickering, so I'm not sure what the reason behind this flickering is, but there is some flickering. Haven't had this last night when I played. Which is weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little weird. Come on.
Shall we go and speak with Sir Leonard?
All right.
Master. I believe I can guide you to the person in question.
We're in your hands, sir. Much obliged.
Why are you being annoying?
Oh, what does this say?
Let's have a look then.
Alright, let's make sure this is off. That's not it. Why are you being annoying? Is it the renderer? Is it really the renderer? Alright, so if you got flickering, it's async enable. Yup. Inside renderer, async enable. Disable that one. Nope, never mind. Got some flickering again. Auto range compression, if you wanna use that for some reason. I think the auto range compression has kind of fixed it. No? Nope. Dynamic shadows. You have a lot of control inside here. There's HDR mode, but still trying to figure it out. The game looks quite nice, though. Occlusion culling. User image. Lower limit. Nope. User image. The pause environment time enable seems to completely block some of the wind, which is kind of weird, but...
Well met, sir. How might I be of service?
What does swing on shadow do? That's weird. I don't know what swing on shadow does.
Fancy a look at my wares?
I wish the original mod creator would, you know, kinda hop on Discord. On the Radioactive Bin Discord. Link below. And, you know,
Tis this
if
way.
you got time, I have managed to fix some of the issues with your mod. But at the same time, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. So, please experiment wisely. Only if you have an RTX 4070 or above or AMD Intel equivalent, alright? I hope you guys enjoyed this little showcase. I hope you guys, you know, have a good time in this game. If you want to see full gameplay, full playthrough of Dragon's Dogma 2 with the collection installed, let me know. At the same time, again, don't use path tracing, is bad. At the same time, we currently have random encounters installed. Make sure it's enabled, alright? If you want to actually use it, make sure it's enabled. Because I think it's disabled default. I'm gonna enable it. Now, from here on out, you guys do what you will. If you want to make custom
Over here.
custom mods for the collection, please let me know inside mod development tab. You know, post your, you know, mods for testing. We can dump them on the test branch. I will need to update that soon. I think I'm gonna update it maybe with revision 14. So it's up to date with the current live version. Because that's fallen behind quite a bit. But you can also see some images here. From the graphics suite. Oh, come on. Alright. I think this is... I don't recall, actually. I think it's reshade on off. Anyway. I really feel like this kind of look fits the game better. I'm gonna need to get rid of the flickering, but... as you can see, it's pretty playable. I am having some FPS drops here and there. Definitely high FPS drops inside cutscenes currently.
Here at the inn, we also offer changes of vocation for those who seek it.
But
I get so few customers, you see, that I can manage both
that is
roles
due to
myself.
pure path
Enough about me.
or pure space
Did you need
filter, whatever it's called. Do note that when you use the graphics suite mod, you will need path space filter. Don't use pure path tracing unless you got like a 4090 or something. And if you do use pure path tracing, and then use ASVGF. And it's gonna help quite a bit, alright? Now you could try to, but you might notice I got some issues here and there. I don't recall why these issues happen with ASVGF. But I'm gonna turn it off. I'm sticking to path space filter for the mod right now.
Always a pleasure.
But again, the FPS has gone back up, and currently I have some issues with it. Might be issues related to the preset, the JSON preset and the settings. I might have gone a little bit too high with some settings. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase. I hope you guys managed to install correctly. Hope you managed to update correctly. If not, let me know. I'll see you in the next video.